those days, the summers we had seemed to be very hot. And we were very lucky because we'd learned to ski. We taught all the kids in Yarra, I think, to ski. We had a lot of pleasure out of the young ones. We'd always heard that the home of water skiing was in Cypress Gardens in Florida. And so Bert decided that we'd go to America. When they built the weir and filled the lake up in '39, they had to move the road between Mulwala and Yarrawonga to higher ground. That left the land Bert was keen on getting, the two sandhills that jutted out into the water. He used to lie on the grass with people saying, "I'm going to build a motel there one day." He had that vision all those years ago. It came to fruition. We couldn't afford an architect or anyone for planning, so it was done all in Bert's head. How he managed to lay the land out the way he did and bring a neck in to make this the boat harbour, as it is, that it never ever gets rough. To have that vision was an amazing thing. He had a big piece of paper, brown paper, and a few pieces of cardboard, and we used to sit down and he'd plan where he'd have his buildings. I would sort of find a little bit of fault with one of them or pick it up and say, "No, I'm not keen on that." We worked on it for, I suppose, a week or so and then put it aside, and then one night he got to it again and he had it that he had just 3 buildings in a row, and the big building for the dining room in the same row, and I just came in and he said, "I think I've got it, Flo," and I said, "You've got to capitalise on the view to give every room a view of the water." So he said, "That's it," and that was the way that was set out, with 2 lots of 20 units, a large building that had the conference room, billiard room, dining room, and a huge dance floor, and the kitchen. Bert, he was at the place every morning at 6 o'clock with the bulldozers and was there all day watching them where they were pushing and pulling the sand. We opened on the 19th of December in 1959, and it was opened by Joe Lawson, Parliament member from Sydney. The year after we started, they let the water down in the lake so that they could do the maintenance on the weir. So that meant that we were able to build the motel. And by this time, we were able to borrow more money and get an architect. So the motel went over water. Guests could drive their boat underneath and just walk up the steps and go into their rooms. And that was a big success.